Satyajit Ray often used to say that he didn't like making grand films. He would rather tell the story of the ordinary man, the man on the street. Like his films, his short stories too reflect this preference, most of them describing the lives of ordinary men, all of whom were without exception very lonely. Why, then, did Ray decide to make Nayak, the hero? A film on the life of an insanely popular matinee idol, a brash, haughty young superstar riding the waves of popularity and enjoying it to the hilt. The answer is hidden in the many layers of the film itself. A film that is so rich, so deep, and yet told in such simple language that perhaps it would not be a mistake to claim that it featured among the best works of Satyajit Ray's illustrious career. The film starts in the drawing room of Arindam Mukherjee, the indomitable superstar of Bengali film industry played by charismatic Uttam Kumar. The morning newspaper arrives and carries with it an article on an altercation he had been involved in, but he decided to go to Delhi to receive the national award. This 24-hour train journey from Calcutta to Delhi directed the flow of the movie. As the master author digs deeper, the moving train becomes a metaphor for the star's escape from his universe. But here again he finds praying eyes in different compartments, each with different point of view about him. One besotted fan sees him as a modern Krishna, while those who had read the morning paper wonder whether there is a devil lurking behind the charming persona. You will be amazed to know that this whole train sequence was set up in a studio, and Ray took help of optical illusion to show as if it is running on tracks. Ray remembered in one of his articles this concept was possible only because he got the best art director available, Bangshi Chandra Gupta.
Action!
Traveling along with him in the same train are myriad characters from various walks of life, each with his or her own story. The most interesting of these, however, is Aditi, a young editor for a woman's magazine titled Adhunika, the modern woman. Sharmila Tagore plays Aditi with grace, elegance, and intelligence, exuding a calm confidence that catches the star's attention, because he is normally used to see the obliged faces of fans and sycophants crowding around him. The excellency of Ray can be shown in handling multiple storylines with such precision and cross-character work. Arindam's co-passenger, Mr. Bose, was persuaded by Pritish Sarkar, who is not even reluctant to use his wife Molly to get a contract of advertising for his agency. Aditi abhors the cliches and glamour of meaningless commercial cinema and harbors nothing but mute disdain for the superstar traveling with her. However, in a bid to increase the sales of her magazine, she requests Arindam for an interview, and the board star agrees in good humor. Unwilling to answer questions honestly at first, he begins to frustrate the novice journalist. But soon enough, owing to a subconscious need to speak to someone, Arindam begins to wander down the dark lanes and by the lanes of his memories, both good and bad, and begins to describe various incidents in his life. As Aditi tries to get to the man behind the star layer by layer, she begins to discover a haunting truth. That despite all the fandom, popularity and immense success, Arindam Mukherjee is an inherently lonely man who needs a friend more than anything else. His insecurities, his guilt, his grief, his hatred towards himself, everything is laid bare, as he inadvertently opens his heart to the woman. This movie consists 7 flashback and 2 dream sequences. Most famous of them is when Arindam was sinking in the mountain of money but his dead mentor Shankarda does not lend him a hand. Later, this sequence has been recreated in multiple instances in Hollywood movies.
শঙ্করদা বাঁচান, আমাকে বাঁচান শঙ্করদা।
On the other hand, Aditi, who has got the scoop of her life, realizes that she has scratched the surface too deep, and that Arindam Mukherjee is no different than anyone else riding on that train. And it is in this realization that her hatred towards the superstar ceases to exist. As the train pulls into Delhi station, she decides not to publish the interview, leaving the hero surrounded by his fans and disappears from his life forever.
Namaskar.
The unique storyline, fascinating sequences, and extraordinary acting and screenplay has got the film Golden Bear of Best Film in Cannes International Film Festival in 1966. Ray has also received National Award for this cinema. Apart from that, it was well received all over the globe. The cross-character study and going behind the psychology of a rising star was unparalleled for any time.
Albat korbo. I will go to the top, the top, the top. Bolo.
Ray's entry to Ingmar Bergman territory, both in terms of theme and style, the train interior and the dream sequences, wonderfully surreal, psychoanalytical and poetic, yields a major masterpiece in world cinema repertoire on film creation. Like most of his work, this movie too deals with problem, but here's the hurdle is for a rising matinee star, who can get everything he asks for, but still the loneliness and guilt of his past has devoured his mind. Neither the Nayak nor Ray is looking for a resolution. He knows he is trapped in his own destiny. In the end, at a drunken state, he wanted to reveal everything to Aditi, the newly met editor. But her refusal and empathy for this broken man has been portrayed beautifully by Tagore. Ray had cast Uttam Kumar not only as an actor, but also as a phenomenon. Uttam Kumar was such a gigantic figure as well as a brilliant actor that after his death, Ray once mentioned, when he looked back to Nayak, he can find where he went wrong, but he can't see any flaw in the acting of Kumar. Through the introspection of characters, I realize the essence of this film is hidden somewhere in a forbidden compartment of our heart. When we know there's no way back through repentance, we withdraw from life and accept defeat. No hero can escape from this sequence.